So yeah, obviously another, getting bored watching these straight shots. Another good swing there, and what we're talking about now is what happens sort of through impact. I see a lot of people talk about release and worrying about early release particularly, or trying to keep the club stable through the ball, which is another one. But when we see, or when they try that, and again, there'd be a cause and the reason why this is happening, but we do tend to see a lot of people either guide it like this through the ball. That one in particular, worried about, releasing it too early, which is a very different thing to keeping the arm straight post-impact.
Yeah, very much so. Now, if you freeze frame any high-level professional golfer, post-impact, they all have their arms in a long, straight, structured orientation like this. However, there is a huge misconception with golfers out there that you need to create or keep the club face facing the target, which is going to help with straighter shots for as long as you can. But a golf club is designed to rotate, right? And so you can see, if I just let it hang like this, we can see the toe turns over itself, and the golf swing is a circular event rotating around our body. So we must allow this club face to open and close. So if we move through to this follow-through position, and you're trying to keep the face open and facing the target, the only way you're able to do that is by keeping your arms bunched, isn't it?
Yes.
Right? So what is a key feel players can use really with their front arm here in allowing them to ensure that they're releasing the club and keeping the arms straight?
I think taking it back to let's call it a simple movement, like if you were throwing a frisbee left-handed, not a chance you release it this way. And that's going nowhere.
Slow.
But that's what happens in the golf swing. It's not a very powerful movement. It's very guided, and I think in a world of shaft lean, people worry about actually letting the shaft rotate and the forearms rotate.
For sure. Okay, so why don't I just demonstrate a shot where I don't let my lead arm move in this, let's say, frisbee orientation where the elbow turns down to the ground. So I'm actually, through the golf ball, going to do what we see a lot of recreational golfers do, keep the face square to the target. Okay, so if we freeze frame this, we're going to see chicken wing out the side. Now, I tried to put as much effort into that and hit a good shot. And I did hit a reasonable shot, but that is not playable, okay? And for the amount of force that I put in and overcompensated with other muscles throughout my body, it wasn't really as easy to get that sort of strike and distance as it was by simply letting the club release. So if I'm just rehearsing this feeling of throwing a frisbee, or we can alternatively, a great drill that I use is get your backhand ollie, place it behind your front elbow, and just make a few little swings, just feeling that the club face is actually turning over. Now, as I do that, what we're going to see through impact is that the arm is going to lengthen, because this arm, the front hand here, hinged back in this direction, actually forces our arm to stay more in front of our body and our elbow to turn more down to the ground.
Yeah, I should point out there that those worried about, I'm going to buff it, hook it, there is still some shaft lean there. We're not throwing it away here. With the frisbee release, if you slow that one down, people aren't flicking it back here. It's post-impact.
Very good. So just a quick note on that. The reason you might be scooping and casting is not because you're releasing the golf club too early. It is because at some stage, your hands have moved behind the rotation of your chest. So if I begin to now turn, you can see that that is going to look like a scoop. It is just a moment in time which is captured in which your hands and arms are trying to catch up to the rotation of your body. Very, very different things. You cannot release the golf club early enough if you are in sequence. Your hands, your body, your arms are working together. Very, very, very important to understand there. So if I jump back in here, Ollie, now for this sort of drill or exercise, it's obviously very difficult for me to hit shots with my lead hand. I'll try, but it might be a bit of a disaster. That wasn't too bad, but what should players do with a drill like this? Because they're gonna go, well, okay, that's all fair and well. How do I put that into my actual golf swing?
So I think you've done well one-handed there, but your skill level might be higher than the average golfer. Even just lightly gripping the club rather than doing your route there. So you have got some support in that trail hand. I think you still get the sensation to rotate through the golf ball, and you've got two hands on the club, so you're moving off the drill to something more realistic.
Yeah, so I'm not really holding the golf club at all here. Now, we're going to see that the club face, when I do this, Ollie, is going to turn over a lot. And most players would then go, well, isn't the ball going to go way to the left? But I'm going to hit one here. We're going to see that the ball goes straight. I'm going to do exactly the same thing, and I want you to talk about why that is.
So this is several frames positioned after impact, and yes, the club face down at the ground there. I don't think you could try much harder to turn that one over, and it's barely missed left at all. In fact, most players be happy with that one.
Yeah.
But at impact, that club face is pretty square, which is where we really care about.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And as we talked about before, is that let's say you are trying to keep the face open at the moment of impact, and I actually just lengthen my arms. Now the face is super open, but there's no speed. Remember, the grip is such an important function of your setup, which encourages the club to come back square. So if you've got a functional grip, you can really try and release this golf club as much as you like. That was a huge release. And we can see the ball actually started to the right and curved back to the left. So if the ball starts immediately left off the face and hooks, it's important that players don't freak out and go, oh my God, I've done it too much, correct?
Yeah, and I think we demonstrated a lot with the left hand there, where most players will communicate with their brain with the dominant hand. Even feeling that the right hand might do that as well, it's not an issue.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So look, if you are struggling with keeping your arms straight through the golf ball, don't try and force them to be iron rods through impact. Understand that your front arm needs to move in such a way, very similar to throwing a frisbee and letting this golf club head release. And as a result of doing so, you get a lot more power and consistency with those golf shots.
Thanks for watching this video. YouTube thinks that you would benefit from watching this one next. So click that card and it could be the tip that you need to take your game to the next level. I'll see you next time.